Okay, been waiting all morning. I think the time changed over today to winter time. But anyway, because I don't want to disturb my neighbours making noise. It's either 9 or 10 now. Either way, it's late enough. Okay, so first, yes, thanks to one of the great people I've met because of this crisis. I'm gonna go full vegan now, and I'm gonna stop making excuses about why I continue to consume dairy products. It was just too tempting because dairy products in Estonia are just so cheap, and it's the cheapest form of protein available. And because soy products are so hard to find here and so expensive. But for the next few weeks I can't go shopping anyway because I've made a commitment that I'm not gonna put on the COVID burqa and become a collaborator. But I've got boxes of old cookies I got for free from the second-hand shop, and I've got enough coffee and stuff to last a few weeks, so I have time to think about my strategy. And if I need to, I can find people who will go into the shop for me and buy basic food. So don't worry about me. But my point was, thanks to Benjamin, who made me realize, who made me feel like a real fake, really. This is the thing why we need other high-toned people around us, because it's so easy to make excuses for whatever we do. And if we only hang around people who are low tone, they'll always offer every excuse to us, and they'll prevent us from taking the personal responsibility we need to, and from really making the changes in our lives that we need to not be fake, yeah? To not be hypocrites. If someone were to take me away right now, lock me up, and more or less torture me to harvest my adrenaline for their own purposes, I would be a total hypocrite to complain, because that's pretty much what we do to cows. And and I have to remember from when I was in agricultural high school. And if you've ever seen a mother cow, how protective she is of a calf, if you've ever seen even a mother sheep, how protective they are of their baby lambs, you would never insult cows and sheep by comparing them to humans. Only species I've ever observed that allows its own children to be taken away, to be injected with poisons, to be genocided in the long run, to be dumbed down, to be domesticated, are humans. Of course, the cow and the sheep, they have very little power to stop, but they will fight to the death. When you try to separate a calf from its mother, I mean, I'm talking about a domesticated cow that's been bred just to become a milk producer. Even such a domesticated cow will go berserk. I mean, berserker in the best sense of a Viking berserker. Yeah? A totally sedate, domesticated cow who has never pushed back. You take away its calf from it and it goes absolute berserk. It will fight to the death if it can to protect its calf. And the sheep will do the same thing. And yet, and sorry if I get emotional, but I'm watching now a slow motion car wreck, and children are already being filled up with toxic chemicals already from birth. But now they're going to be given a lethal injection. May take years to kill them, may just sterilize them, may just make them permanent consumers of the pharmaceutical criminal industry. Now, I've just been reading Virus Mania, and I've posted the PDF, and on Telegram you can download the audiobook. And I know that's illegal and it's unfair to the authors, yeah? But I give away all my books for free. And this book is too important for me to worry about whether or not it's fair for the authors that they lose their royalties. But yeah, I posted that book. Please download the PDF and read it, because I feel like an ignorant, naive little child reading that book. I hadn't paid attention to anything that's been going on really in the pharmaceutical industry. All this stuff about viruses until very recently. And even just in the last few days reading that book and doing some research, I'm just appalled at how ignorant I was about what had been going on. I just hadn't been vigilant. But yeah, one, if you're going to torture other sentient beings and make excuses for it, even like I have, saying, oh, milk's cheap, you know, then you're a hypocrite when they take away your children or you, and they hook you up to a machine and torture you just to milk you for your adrenaline or adrenochrome or whatever. Or if they harvest your organs after you've said, oh, it's okay to vivisect animals, you call it science. If they vivisect me or you, we'd be hypocrites to complain and say this is injustice. Because that's what we do to other sentient beings. And Obadiah warned us, for as you do unto others, so shall be done unto you. It's not a secret. Everything that the cult of Judah, everything the Narcash conspiracy have done and do and plan to do is totally consistent with our own personal behavior. They just decide to draw a line in the sand and say that we are animals. We do the same thing for other animals. We draw a line in the sand and say, this animal has an IQ lower than me, therefore I can torture it. That's just, it's hypocrisy, it's evil, it's us. Please. But thank you, Benjamin, because it's only when you meet high-tone individuals, and I love people who are better than me, always. I always seek out people who are smarter than me, who are better than me at something, in some way, because I want to raise my own tone up. And it's only when you meet people with a higher ethical tone that they force you to say, Marcus, you talk a good talk, but you're a fucking hypocrite. And I mean that in the best possible way. Benjamin knows who he is. I don't want to mention any people because they might not want to be mentioned. But Benjamin, thank you for that. So the most important thing to do while we're here is to raise our ethical tone. Nothing is more important. If it means you have to go to the gulag and be tortured to learn this, it's still worth learning. It's much better if you can learn quicker and easier with less pain, but hey, we're human, yeah? We don't like to look in the mirror and accept responsibility. We like people to offer us excuses, yeah? So most people, my brother used to hang around really cool people, yeah? But I don't like using the word inferior, but you know what I mean. My family, I think, are at least as smart as I am. They just didn't take the same route. I looked at my brother's school reports. By accident, I came across them. And he got the same grades I got. And yet, he totally gave up on education, and all his friends were very basic sort of people, yeah? And I noticed this. And whereas I seek out people I think are my betters, some people find it comfortable to hang around their inferiors, yeah? It's fun to be the best, smartest person in the room. Yeah, to be the best looking, to be the most able and most capable and most talented. Because it boosts your ego, you feel good. And hanging around people who are better than you make you feel bad about yourself. Yeah? But that's the only way you're going to be pushed to become the best you can be. So thank you, Benjamin. Yeah? I was living purely vegan before, and I considered cow's milk to be mucus, like drinking some snot from somebody. But when I moved, but because of economic considerations, like milk here I can get for as cheap as 20 cents a litre. And compared to soy milk, which here is like almost €2 a litre, and given my commitment to living as cheaply as possible, I made that excuse. But it's good, the crisis means I can't go to the shop now. Yeah, it's going to be a while before I step foot in a shop. I'm not tempted to buy cheap milk. And yeah, when you interact with somebody who's the real deal, you know, like Benjamin, and somebody who's praising you and giving you positive feedback and giving you credit for what you are and what you do, which is so rare in this world. When someone like that, it's when you can't make excuses anymore. I can't tell him something, and I can't have people praise me and admire me for something and then be a hypocrite about it just to save money or just to make my life a bit easier, because that's the whole point. So yeah, I admit, you see in my last video I said, yeah, maybe I sound like a hypocrite. Sorry, not sound like a hypocrite, am a hypocrite, was a hypocrite, and I'm going to try not to be. Harder. Yeah, so no more dairy products. I will eat whatever I find on the street or in the garbage. Yeah, or if someone gives me food, I'll eat it, almost whatever it is. Yeah, but I'm never going to buy an animal product that I can avoid. If I buy a salad and it's got something in it that's dairy or I don't know about, I'll still eat it. But my point is, I'm not going to actively make excuses, not going to actively eat the cheapest food, which happens to be dairy, because that's the problem in the whole world. We do what's convenient and cheapest. And of course it's cheap to torture animals, yeah? It's also cheap to enslave people, yeah? It's cheap to harvest organs from people, yeah? If you get some benefit from torturing people, that's cheap too. So hey, just torture them. Very cost effective. A way to get what you want or you think you need. Yeah, they tell you they need to torture animals to test products that you want to buy. You don't need those products. Yeah, almost everything they call medicine appears now. Anything related to viruses that they're selling you is poison. It's toxic. It's killing you. It's not going to help you. My best understanding is no virus can do anyone any harm. There's no evidence virus can kill anybody. There's no evidence viruses can be transmitted from human to human contact. All the supposed virus plagues of the past have all been faked. It's people dying from what they've been injected with. In the army in the First World War, people were injected with all God knows what, and they were exposed to all sorts of toxic chemicals in the war. Yeah? That's what's killing people. That's what's destroyed people's immunity system. Nobel Prizes are handed out to support the official narrative. Did you know that the person who invented the lobotomy got the Nobel Prize for inventing the lobotomy? I wrote about this 15 years ago. Yeah. They give Nobel Prizes to scientists to support official narratives, to give them authority, which is what people like my friend Rasmus only respect. Alpha apes, successful people, people in authority. Yeah? But they're criminals. That's how they got into positions of authority. You must read the book Virus Mania. You have to. Yeah? I would pay you to read that book even before you read my books. Yeah? Virus Mania. That's why I've posted the link to the PDF for free. Because I couldn't find it anywhere else. And I didn't have €50 or whatever to buy it. So please make sure you get that PDF to as many people as possible. And get them to read it or listen to the Dr. Sam Bailey made an audiobook. But the first parts of that audiobook are way too fast, Sam. She slows down later, but Sam, first rule when you learn to become a teacher is that you have to talk slower. And even though I'm talking relatively fast now, it's still a quarter of the speed I used to talk at before teaching forced me to slow down, Marcus. So, there's an audio book from Dr. Sam Bailey. But for the most part, even for a native speaker Australian like me to listen to a New Zealander speaking fast, something totally new words and information, yeah, not normal stuff we talk about, it was incredibly hard to follow her. But then she seemed to slow down later. So the audiobook's not good for anybody who's not a native English speaking person, who can really pay attention to what she's saying, and who's used to listening to strange accents. So anyway, that book, okay. You have to read it because it's opened my mind up to things I never guessed at. Yeah, just the whole criminality of the medical profession, which is why now I prefer to refer to the cult of Judah as the Narcash conspiracy, because this is how it's been manifest in the medical and the financial industries. It's a crime gang, 3,000 years old, the Narcash conspiracy. Anything to do with finance and medicine is completely tainted and corrupted now by this Narcash conspiracy. Yes, and the video of the okay, and I wanted to make a video at 4 o'clock this morning. I don't know what it was about now, but I can't make noise at 4 o'clock. It's not fair for neighbours. But here's the point. If most people believe the Holocaust narrative, that the Germans killed 6 million Jews. Now, if you believe that, why is it not possible for you to believe that genocide right now couldn't happen? Now, if you were Jewish and you believed in the official Holocaust narrative that other nations genocided 6 million of your people, you think about what that would mean to you if you were a Jew. It's the fact that the Jews do control the world. For better or worse, the Jews have total control of this world. It's a fact you can demonstrate and prove to anyone who's got an open mind. Yeah, it's an objective, scientific, concrete fact. The Jews run the World Health Organization, the World Bank, International Monetary Fund, Federal Reserve Bank. They run the North Atlantic Treaty, the North Atlantic Terrorist Organization, NATO. They run and own the United Nations. Jews. It's a fact. They are the most powerful people in the world. They control your mass media, the full spectrum propaganda machine. Everything that you ever hear or see on TV is being scripted by the Jews. And I'm not exaggerating. It's a concrete, objective, scientific fact. Anybody who's willing to look at the facts can clearly see for themselves. Putin is Jewish. Stalin was the son of a Jew. Lenin was Jewish. All the leading Soviet terrorists were Jews. It's a fact. So the Jews do have absolute power now. Yeah? Imagine you are Jewish and you have absolute power and you believe that during World War II 6 million Jews were genocided while the world stood by and let it happen. If you believe that, think what that would mean to you. Would you hesitate for 1 minute if you were Jewish, had absolute power, and believed the whole world was out to get you? Would you hesitate for 1 minute to genocide 6 billion people to protect yourself? Would you? No, you would fucking not. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm getting too excited. But it's so clear. If you lack the imagination, if you have so much confidence in human nature, then you have to obviously reject the Holocaust narrative. Because it should not be possible for Germans to murder 6 million people. Yeah? It never happened. I'm telling you, it never happened. I know it never happened. But most of you believe the Holocaust happened. If you can believe that, how can you lack the imagination to believe that the victims of the Holocaust would not, when they had total power, genocide us? One, in revenge, but two, to protect themselves. And that rabbi is still on YouTube telling all the Jews, and remember the Jews control the world, the rabbi is telling all the Jews to genocide you. That God commands it. If you believe in God, I've grown out of the whole dog thing, the whole God thing, total myth, total narrative to me. But if you believe in God, you think about what that means. The Jews have absolute power. The Bible tells the Jews to genocide Amalek and Edom. Their rabbis, their religious leaders told them Amalek and Edom is America. It's every former nation of the Roman Empire. That's Amalek and Edom. This man has been on YouTube for over 5 years inciting racial vilification and genocide and hate speech. Why is he still on YouTube? How does he remain within the community guidelines of YouTube? How is what he is saying not criminal? Why is he not banned from YouTube? Because he's a Jew. A Jew can command everyone in the name of God to genocide 6 billion people. He can do that. He's been fact-checked. He's been fact-checked, which means it's a fact, what he's saying. Has not been removed by the fact-checkers. He meets the community guidelines, yeah, of YouTube. So what he's saying must be true. That the Jews must genocide 6 billion people. You, your nation. Every man, woman, child and animal. Just like at Dresden. They firebombed a city full of refugees. After the firebombing, they machine gunned from fighter planes the rescue workers. They machine gunned in the gardens, men, women and children. In the gardens, in the parks, outside the city. It's a fact. Kurt Vonnegut was there as an American prisoner. He saw it all and documented it all. The fighter pilots were ordered to machine gun the zoo animals and any other animal, any human, any animal. This is biblical genocide. Kill the men, the women, the children, the unborn, and their animals. That's what happened at Dresden. Okay, I'm shouting, so people in the whole building will probably be calling the police. I'm sorry to my neighbors, but this is time, man. This is end game. I'm ready to leave the planet anytime. Happy to. And thanks to someone like Benjamin who's knocked me out of my hypocrisy, which I found an excuse for, I'm really ready. Yeah, I'm ready to go. And I really think that this is just a really silly world. These people are so silly and stupid. It's not really worth me dealing with them. Yeah? It seems people are such hypocrites. They deserve what's coming. It's a fact that most people deserve what's coming. Yeah, I deserve what's coming. We all deserve what's coming. Anybody who prays for justice is really not being honest with himself. Never ask for justice, because if there was justice in this world, we'd all be locked up and tortured for our crimes against other animals. Yeah? So I could happily just wander off into the forest and maybe make some friends. You know that old TV series, I don't know, the American guy goes off into the Rocky Mountains and adopts a bear cub. What's his name? Something, Grizzly Adams, yeah? Okay. I could happily be Grizzly Adams. I could happily join a joined Jim Jones, or what was the last people whose spaceship was waiting for them, and they all drank cyanide, and they all wear the nice Nikes and stuff. Yeah, I like Nikes. I'll be happy to join them. And to be honest, I've just got to laugh at this world and people and cry. It's terrifying, and it's just beyond the absurd that people are just sitting by and watching this. That all people care about is keeping their job, their nice big car, their nice fancy clothing and haircuts. Yeah. They're quite happy to keep torturing other animals and making excuses like I was making myself. Yes, Marcus, big fat hypocrite. Thank you, Benjamin. I know you wouldn't have said it to me because you're too nice. But, yeah. Very grateful for that. Anytime somebody rubs my nose in my own shit and says, Marcus, you're a fucking hypocrite. Not with words, but he never said it, but yeah, anyway. Emotional, yeah. Laughing and crying. Anybody who doesn't go insane when they realize the truth about this world, that's incredible, yeah. It's not incredible that everyone's been tricked. It's not incredible that Rasmus won't even read a book or watch a video I send him, because he already knows that it's delusional. He already knows that anything I offer him is just crazy people. Yeah, he knows that already. He knows everything. It's not surprising he knows that. He's been brainwashed from birth. This full spectrum propaganda, total censorship, so much conditioning from birth. That's not surprising. What's really fucking surprising is that there's anyone on this planet like me or Benjamin who are aware of what's going on. That is what's fucking incredible. Yeah? And Roman, yeah, a local activist here. He's not fully aware, he doesn't want to be fully aware, but still he's woken up. That's incredible. And some of you watching this, yeah, who aren't just working for the cult of Judah and using my videos to inform your propaganda and to anticipate and to prepare your bogus specious sophistry, your disingenuous specious sophistry, your propaganda, yeah, your toxic propaganda, your noble lies, which are the most evil lies ever. And you probably believe they're noble. It's for the greater good. It's for society. What is society? Please go out there and say hello to the greater good for me. If you can find the greater good, I'll be happy to meet them. Because this is what you're told you're serving, the greater good. Yeah? You're idiots. But anyway, it's not surprising that everyone's been fooled. It's not surprising that everyone doesn't want to lose their job and they're going along. It won't surprise me if 6 billion people are dead within 2 years. Will not be surprised at all. I won't even miss most of them. Yeah? This is a personal call to Benjamin and Roman and Mike and anybody else out there who's awake. Selfishly, please save yourself, because I value you more than anything. Yeah? I would happily, personally, for the greater good, if 6 billion people have to die to save you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, those 6 people, yeah, Benjamin, Mike, Roman, a few other people, you're worth much more to me than 6 billion people, because there's 6 billion mosquitoes. There's no hope for them. They're better off dead than being slaves. And then, how can you possibly teach someone anything if their mind is totally closed? Yeah, if they've been taught just to reject anything that's alternative to the official narrative. If they know 100% with certainty that anything that's not the official narrative, that anything that's not what the authorities say, is delusion and lies, if you know this for a fact, and you're never ever even going to open a book and read it, or watch a video that's not the official narrative, that hasn't been endorsed by some authority with a Nobel Prize given to him to give him authority, there's no hope. Transferred authority. Yeah, first it was God. I speak for God. I speak with the authority of a God. 2, an angel or God spoke to me. I speak with the authority of an angel. 3, the ancestors for 10,000 years have believed this. I speak with the authority of tradition. And now the new authority is called science. Totally bogus pseudoscience. Cryptoscience. Totally fabricated science. That's the new authority. Yeah? The Nobel Prize is a new form of transferred authority. Ah, this guy's a Nobel Prize winner. Of course, when the Nobel Prize winner contradicts the official narrative, suddenly they're no longer popular. Yeah? They're demonized. But generally, the Nobel Prize is given to people who are pushing the official narrative, who are reading from the script of the Nakash conspiracy. Einstein, guy invented the lobotomy. Guy invented the AIDS vaccine and various other vaccines. Anybody who promotes the idea of vaccines, the official narrative about viruses, they get the Nobel Prize. Rest of us other ones get put in prison. Yeah, they lose their jobs, they lose their funding. Anyway, so transferred authority. If you put your faith in any authority other than what you can see and feel and touch and smell, yeah, if people are not dying around you of very unusual reasons, yeah, if people suddenly start dying around me of totally new symptoms I've never seen before, then I might ask the question, shit, is there something new? If you want to defeat COVID, turn off your TV. Stop watching the propaganda. It only exists in your head. COVID only exists in your head. I know I'm nobody, I'm not famous, I've got no reputation to put at stake. I'm putting my own life at stake, because if someone told me they had COVID, I'd walk up and kiss them if they let me. Yeah? I have absolutely put everything at stake, and they probably will put me in prison and torture me for telling you this. But there is no such thing as COVID-19. What I mean to say is there is absolutely no scientific evidence that a new virus exists. There is absolutely no evidence that if they manufactured something called COVID-19, there's absolutely no scientific evidence that they can transfer it from the laboratory to any living being, and there's absolutely no evidence that it can be transferred from any living being to a human, and there's absolutely no evidence that it can be transmitted from human to human. Yep. And there's really absolutely no evidence that even exists outside of a very small fragment of DNA they constructed in a laboratory, which they're using for whatever propaganda purposes. And I know I sound putting myself out on the edge here, because almost nobody is saying what I'm saying, that it doesn't exist. That sounds totally crazy. They're very extreme, but it doesn't exist. Scientifically, objectively, there's no reason to believe it exists. I can't know anything. Yeah, maybe even God exists and I'm just missed something. Yeah? But as far as I can say objectively and scientifically, God does not exist. Yeah? And COVID does not exist. The devil does not exist. Yeah, there are no witches. There are no pixies. There's no elves and leprechauns. Objectively. I can't know for sure, of course. But there's no evidence. Yeah? You can believe in elves. I had a friend in Moscow who believed in elves and fairies. Yeah? That's fine. He wasn't forcing me to believe in them and change and give up all my freedoms and become a slave for his belief in fairies. So he's welcome to believe in fairies. But there's no scientific evidence for the existence of fairies. In fact, I would believe in fairies. There is more scientific evidence to believe in elves and leprechauns and fairies than there is to believe in COVID. And if you do any research and follow the links, you'll find they have absolutely no scientific evidence of any of the virus stuff. Everything from AIDS to hepatitis C to cervical cancer, supposed virus. No evidence whatsoever. And they never ever did any research, because from the very beginning they created and maintained a myth, just as Soros predicted. For the greater good, they're going to totally abolish any interest in truth and objective science and replace it all with myths, with noble lies, which they are going to argue are for the greater good. Yeah? The people doing this, a lot of them believe it's for the greater good. Yeah? They know they are lying. They know there are no viruses. Yeah? No viruses at all. And they know there's definitely no COVID. But they believe that they can get you to do what they want for the greater good this way, by lying to you. Plato called it the noble lie. It's not noble though. For some people, yes, ideological noble. They believe it's for the greater good. But the people at the top who are really pulling the puppet masters, they're just criminals. And they've realized they can get what they want. They can enslave the entire world and do anything they want if they get you to believe in COVID-19. It's a blank check. It's like 9/11 and terrorism, a blank check. People do not normally give up all their freedoms and accept dictatorship unless you give them a reason. 9/11 was the excuse for the Patriot Act. Port Arthur massacre, etc. was the excuse to disarm Australians. COVID-19 is the blank check. It's the excuse to have total dictatorship. And if you personally are not living in a total dictatorship yet, you will be. Very, 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 very quickly. One step after the other. Yeah? Not baby steps anymore. It's a leap of faith. You've taken a leap of faith. You've believed something somebody in authority told you. Simply because everybody keeps repeating it in the propaganda. And because you trust your authorities and your government. But they are criminals. Yeah, they should be locked up immediately. They are criminals. Anybody spreading this propaganda is a criminal. What can I say? Okay. That I haven't said. The video is already 40 minutes long. Let's see. I'm going to go stand outside the library or in the exit to Maxima, the supermarket, and see if I can upload this to Telegram. And then Mike Hill will hopefully upload it to me to BitChute. Anyway, ciao for now. I can smile. Yeah. I can cry. Doesn't matter what my emotion is. Yeah. Don't judge a person. That I have not gone totally insane is incredible. That anybody who's woken up is still able to sit here and talk calmly, or not so calmly, is incredible. When you totally wake up, if your mind lets you wake up, because normally our mind protects us from shocks, yeah? It's called denial, yeah? Most people, their mind will protect them from the truth if the truth is too overwhelming. I don't know if you can handle the truth, and I don't blame you if you can't. Yeah? But all I can do is share the closest thing to the truth that I can discover. And if people don't listen to it, then I understand. I do understand why. But I have to say, they're responsible for what's coming. If you allow your government to treat you like an animal, then they're going to treat you like an animal. And they're going to treat you the way you treat other animals. For as you do unto others, so shall be done unto you. So please, like me, look in the mirror, yeah? Stop making excuses, go vegan, raise your ethical tone, find other people who will help you, like I found Benjamin, yeah? You will stumble upon people in the street even, who will help you raise your ethical tone, because they won't let you get away with bullshit, yeah? Find people better than you, because just by their existence, just by their example, they will make you feel dirty. They will make you feel like scum. They will make you feel inferior. And then you have a choice. Should I step up? Yeah, and raise my game? Yeah, should I raise myself up to this new higher level? Or should I try to cut down the tall poppies and hate the people who are better than me? That's your choice. Yeah? But if you want to escape this planet, and if you want to escape history, you have to let your betters raise your moral, ethical tone. Yeah? Anybody who makes you feel guilty about something, then you have to think, am I guilty? And you have to be honest. Self-honesty, self-responsibility. Yeah? Other people can help because they reflect back on you, your own hypocrisy and your own, like Benjamin did with me. Yeah? When you meet good people, they make you feel bad about your excuses. Yeah? And then you can choose to stop making excuses. Go vegan anyway. Happy next lives. I'm looking forward to meeting Benjamin either in this world or in one of the next worlds. Yeah, because I'm confident that Benjamin will be where I belong. Yeah, what I call home. The next higher levels. I'm sure I'll meet Benjamin out there. I'm looking forward to that. But I suspect that most of the 7 billion humans on this planet will need to suffer over and over again. Yeah, they need what's coming. Maybe by suffering. Yeah, they will learn. For as you do unto other sentient beings, so shall be done unto you. This world is the representation of our will, our collective will. What we will for other sentient beings is what we are willing for ourselves, because it will happen to us. How you treat other animals is how we are going to be treated. Yeah, the cult of Judah, the Nakash conspiracy, the Jews define you as an animal. And how do you treat animals? Everything that you do to other animals is going to be done unto you. Yeah? Congratulations. Welcome to the Jew world order. Yeah? The Jews are a blessing unto the nations because they're going to teach us the hard way, just like in the Gulag. Yeah, even Solzhenitsyn, who would joke about raping and murdering German girls as being almost a battle distinction, an honor, something you should get a medal for. Even Solzhenitsyn, who began his career as a captain, making jokes about raping and murdering German girls, even he, thanks to the Jews and the Gulag punishment of him for decades, even Solzhenitsyn suddenly became enlightened. Yeah? He learnt the hard way. And yes, the Jews are a blessing unto the nations if you learn through them. So probably I'm going to have to leave most of you to the cult of Judah, Nakash conspiracy, to the Jews. Yeah? To teach you the hard way. I've learned the hard way. I tried to make it easier for others to learn the easier way. But it seems humans only learn through personal suffering. Anyway, yeah, ciao for now.